Madonna, not this Madonna, but Madonna, the pop artist, the singer. Some time back, if you're born in the 80s, you'll know this. She was asked once why she liked to wear a cross. And if you grew up in the 80s, you will know her answer. It was not because it is her God. It was not because of devotion. It was not because she was a Catholic. She was a Catholic indeed. But her answer was this. Her answer was, I like the idea of a naked man hanging on the cross. Not devotion, not, because she really loved Christ, but because it was a fashion statement. She went on to say, I find it sexy. A sex symbol for her. You know what is sad? Today, if somebody were to say something like this about any other religion, there will be, people wanting to boycott anybody. They want to boycott, they want to riot, they want to do all that. But the sad truth is, a lot of us have made the cross, our faith, into a fashion statement. That is the fact. Because it has just for some, not all, but for some, it is fast becoming what you just write down in your form when you sign up for something, when you apply for work. Ugama, Christian. That's it. We don't know our faith. We didn't know what Jesus died for. We do not know the cross. The cross, my dear friend, was the most horrific way punishment there was. It was actually not created by the Romans. It was actually created by the Persians. But the Romans took it to a different level altogether, the crucifixion. They took the crucifixion and they made it almost perfect instrument of torture. If you have seen the nails that was piercing Jesus' hand, they were not thin. They were not the nice little smooth ones which we use for carpentry. No, it is thick and it is long because it has to hold the whole body on the cross. Have you ever knocked yourself while you're trying to hammer something, accidentally knocked your hand? You know how painful it is? Now imagine purposefully knocking an entire nail through that hand. The scourging, this was Roman invention. The scourging is not whipping. It is not just taking a whip and beating you. It is not. The scourging has thorns at the end of the whip, has skeletons, and they have bones, and they have nails and steel at the end of it. If you have watched The Passion of Christ, you will see this because it is historical. And what it's supposed to do is when it hits you, it is supposed to tear your flesh. Why? Because when you're on the cross, every move, every touch, everything is painful. You can't even move. You can read this. There's a lot of different articles about the crucifixion. Even that small wood at Jesus' leg, I'm sure any crucifixion scene, you will see a small wood at the feet of Jesus. And I remember once reading an article by a Muslim scholar who said that wood actually made it easier for Jesus' rubbish. That wood was particularly painful. Why? Because that wood was there to prolong life, so that death will come slowly. You see, what happens is, when you are tied up, when you are on the cross, your ribs presses into your lungs and you cannot breathe. And in order to breathe, you have to step up. And only then you can take a breath. And that is why in today's reading, they will break the legs. Because once you break the leg, you die very quickly. Jesus had to go through all of this, pushing himself up for every breath. That painful nail beat the foot with the cross. And this goes on for hours. The crucifixion is not a joke, my dear friends. It's not a sex symbol. It is not a political statement or a fashion statement. It is a very real passion of Christ for you and me. God's love for you and me can be seen on the cross. My dear friends, it is very, very easy to think that Jesus died for the whole world. Very easy. Because it's not for me alone, for everybody. But do you know something? If you are the only one, if I was the only one who needed to be saved, I believe Jesus would have still gone through that pain for you and for me. That is the cross. That is the true Christ that we believe in. You don't have to go out there and boycott anybody. You don't have to boycott Madonna, nothing. You don't have to do all that. But if you really, really want to honor the cross, my dear friends, as you come up after this, as you come to kiss the cross, think of the pain that Jesus went through. Think of the pain that Jesus paid for you and me. Think of the death that Jesus, the humiliation. Yes, he was naked on the cross, but it was more than that. And it was for you and it was for me. It was for you and it was for me. And he paid the price knowingly and willingly. So afterwards, when you come forward, my dear friends, come, kiss the cross, but don't let it end there. Because that is not enough. That is not enough. Bring the cross back, not that cross, but the cross that Jesus died on, the cross which you know, and bring it out. Yes, wear your crosses. Wear your crosses and bring it out to the world, to your workplace, to your family, when you go to the hospital, wherever you may be, especially when you see those who need the cross most, when you see the person who needs help most. My dear friends, don't be like Madonna. Be like Veronica instead, the woman who wiped Jesus' face. She not only saw God, she not only saw her master, but she also saw a suffering man. And she didn't worry about what the world will say. She went and ministered to him. Do that. Bring this cross of yours. Bring this cross of ours. The cross that Jesus gave us. This painful death that Jesus went through for us. Bring that to every person out there. To the refugees. To the migrant who don't have a family here. To the people who their homes are being taken away, the orang aslis and the orang asals, the sick, the poor. And today, when you kiss the cross, let that be your beginning. Because when you bring this cross to the world, when you help all these people, you will be truly, truly kissing Jesus. Don't take this cross for granted, my dear friends. Bring this crucified Christ to the world. And in 3 days, the risen Christ to the world.